everyone, it's Emma. Today I'm going to do a spoiler-free review for The School of Good and Evil by Soman Chainani. This is a middle grade book that I picked up on a whim. I really had never heard of it, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing it everywhere. That always seems to happen to me, like I'm completely oblivious to something, and then as soon as I become aware of it, everyone is talking about it, and I must have just been ignoring it the whole time. In this book, we follow Sophie and Agatha, who are best friends, and they live in this village where every couple years, two children disappear, and they kind of know what's going on, but it's also kind of a legend, and no one's really sure if they believe it. But basically, they think that fairy tales are kidnapping their children and taking them to a school where they train to either become villains or the heroes, princesses and princes, or the evil witches. Sophie has dreamed her whole life of going to this school. That's all she wants, is to become a princess and find her prince. Agatha does not want to leave. All she wants is to be with her only friend, Sophie. But Agatha looks like she would be perfect for the School of Evil. Sophie looks like she would be perfect for the School of Good. In this book, we follow them figuring out what it means to be good, what it means to be evil. The writing style was actually really interesting to me. It took me a little while to adjust to it because I was trying to read it and grasp everything that the author was saying. And some of the scenes are very action-packed, and I just couldn't do that because the writing is very atmospheric. It's like the author wrote it to give you a feeling, not to give you a play-by-play of what's going on. I really enjoyed it. Once I adapted to that writing style, I really loved it because it gave you the feeling of those old grim fairy tales, like that kind of dark, whimsical feel. It was very moody in the sense that it was kind of gloomy, but also in the sense that it just gave you a feeling. There was a mood to this book that was very specific. Reading this book was like looking at paintings. I don't know why, but in my head, instead of people, it really manifested as like artwork. It was very unique and kind of dramatic, and I liked that a lot. In the beginning, you can tell right away that even though Agatha is kind of dark and she looks like a witch and she doesn't like pink or frilly dresses, she has kind of a heart of gold. She really loves selflessly, and all she wants in life is just to have her friend Sophie. It's not to have lots of friends or to be loved by everyone or to be accepted by everyone. She just has her one friend who she loves very loyally. I think she really was interesting because she doesn't view things through the mindset of like what's on the outside is what's important. Yet she doubts herself because that's how everyone around her is looking at the world. They're looking at these girls who are beautiful and have great skin, and who everyone is saying, those are the princesses. That's the only way you could possibly be a princess. So Agatha doubts herself because that's not how she views the world, which I thought was really interesting because although it's very clear that Agatha is good, has goodness in her, she doubts herself because of the people around her. Sophie, on the other hand, is very firm in what she thinks. She sticks to her belief that she should be a princess. She's very shallow. Her world is all about pretty dresses and skincare, being beautiful. It's not about the truth and what it really means to be good. She tries to do good deeds, but it's always blatantly demeaning, and yet she doesn't doubt at all that she's right, that she should be a princess, which makes her a very frustrating character, but also a very interesting one. But the way that her story went, I really enjoyed. The first half, I really wanted her to go one way, and she did end up going that way, and it was very interesting to see that. Although her and Agatha are really different in the way that they view the world, I liked both of their stories equally, but Agatha is a more likable character. I really loved their friendship. Agatha is so loyal to Sophie, and she continues to believe in her and keep hoping that Sophie will change and become more loving and more of a deep person. And Sophie really doesn't value Agatha at all. She really doesn't get what it means and how important it is to have such a loyal friend like Agatha, and yet Agatha keeps loving Sophie and being selfless, trying to help Sophie. I really enjoyed the plot as well. First half of the book was a little slow for me. It's not that it's slow in a bad way, it's just not really fast paced. Again, that's not a negative thing. Felt like we were kind of wandering through the beginning of the story, and then things started to happen and it really gripped me for the ending. I finished the last half of the book a lot faster than the first half. There's a lot of what does it mean to really be good? What does it mean to really be evil? Does it matter what you look like on the outside, or does the outside reflect what's inside? One of the things that I liked a lot was this idea of what you believe about yourself is what's most important. So if you believe that you're good and you believe that you're worth something, you believe it, you're a princess, the outside will reflect that. And if you see it and you believe it, then others will too. Also, there was this whole, if people see you as a good person, but you're doing evil things, you're going to become evil. But you have the choice to go either way. The good that everyone focuses on in the beginning is very superficial. It's all about looking good and like doing good acts even if your heart isn't in it. And likewise with the evil characters. The evil characters, they're evil because that's what they were taught to do. And yet they kind of showed that all of the evil characters also had stirrings of good in them, and that it's not as black and white as everyone around them is trying to tell them that it is. That struggle to understand what it really means to be good, what it really means to be evil, and what makes you either way if you're just born that way or if your choices make a difference. Overall, I really loved this book. I can't wait to read the next ones. I think this is a trilogy and all the books are already out. I really like the direction that it's going in. At the end of this book, I was excited to read the second one and see where the characters go. And I would definitely recommend it, especially if you want a middle grade book. This one, it just had a lot of depth to it, which is what I was looking for. I really like reading middle grade, but it has to be like something that has a lot of substance to it. And that's what this was. It was really good world building. It was very interesting. The characters were really ambiguous, and so overall I really suggest it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. I'm Miss Emma Reads a Lot on all of my social media, and I will link that in the description box for you guys if you want to follow me on Twitter and get updates on my reading patterns and whatnot. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time with a new video.